Let's talk about Speaker Johnson. He did two shows. He did Face the Nation, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But on NBC, on Meet the Press, they were trying to get Speaker Johnson to force President Trump to take an exam because Kamala Harris did, which is crazy because Kamala Harris, who's in denial about the president's cognitive malfunctions and never been called on the carpet about that, suddenly has a great interest in President Trump's overall health. Listen to this exchange.
You concede that he didn't release his medical records. You don't want to know things like his cholesterol level, whether he's dealing with any issue that we may not know about if he's going to be commander-in-chief. And he also said he would release cognitive tests.
Listen to your question.
Should he release that?
The American people, Kristen, the American people don't care about the cholesterol level of Donald Trump. They care about the cost of living and the fact they cannot pay for groceries because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's policies have put them in that situation. The medical records are irrelevant. Let's talk about things that the American people care about. That's why Donald Trump is surging in the polls, because he's doing that on stages, in interviews, nonstop around the clock, and Kamala Harris has done nothing.
I mean, I have Pew pulled up. Most important issues. I do not see Donald Trump's cholesterol anywhere else. Oh, maybe it's lower. This is crazy.
It's incredible.
And meanwhile, when Carl Bernstein came out and said, you know, Biden looked like he had rigor mortis, they couldn't ask any questions about health records. What is wrong with these people? How in touch can you be?
So first of all, looking at all the Sunday school, it was a bloodbath for the media and Democrats as well. It's just so bad. And being a sports guy my entire life, it's always bad when a sports king, when they start to have fun with their opponent. The Republicans are just having fun with the media right now. Every single time. I mean, it's just like layups. Like, are you listening to yourself? Do you understand the question that you're asking? They're laughing at you in the middle of your interviews right now. I don't recall that being a time Republicans doing, but it's become so easy. They're complete lightweights now with some of the questions that they're posing. But I think this is also an issue, with all due respect, that the Democrats do not want to play. If you want to talk about the health and fitness of a president, don't look at the candidate for president. Look at the current person in the Oval Office. And there's story after story of the scripted cabinet meetings, that Jill Biden is there assisting, them trying to conceal the fact that they needed Nancy Pelosi to save the day during the debt ceiling bill. I mean, there's story after story about how crazy it is right now.
Well, and you know, when you think about it, Kamala Harris started to make some hay in the polls a while back when she said, look, Donald Trump is afraid to debate me a second time. And so now what she's looking for is something else where it's like, oh, that's a question. Why is
cholesterol, ain't it?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why she on Friday released her health records, because she knows he's not going to do it. She also said, look, he won't debate me again. He didn't go on 60 Minutes. The question is, do you really care about somebody's lipid levels? Are you worried about somebody's lipid levels? You know, if you're a loved one, if you're married to him or related to him, I get it. But I think people are going to vote not for Donald Trump, whether or not he's got high HDL, but what he's going to do for ultimately our pocketbook.
The guy does a million rallies a week. He's just fine, I can assure you.
So, Speaker Johnson, I texted him, just asked him about that exchange last night, and he said, did you see CBS? And I said, no. So I put on Face the Nation. He says they edited his video. He says he'll never agree to it again.
Wow, just
he
like
said
60 Minutes.
He says they edited. He goes, on Face the Nation, it was even more direct, but they edited it out. He goes, I did the interview to they made Kamala look better. They edited my video to try to make me look less effective. I will never agree to a non-live interview with CBS again.
Journalistic malpractice. It's 60 Minutes did it. The flash, the
CBS again.
And we know they edit videos, because we seen it last week what they did to Kamala. Completely took a question and lashed into another answer. I don't know if that was ever okay in media.
But to the Speaker's point, Brian, that's why he will never do anything that is not live. That's the problem for us. We do everything live. We would like to fix stuff. I mean, we can't.
You remember Trump said that you know you're good when they take your long answer and they have to edit you down versus Kamala, they have to edit her up. Anyway.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.